I'm just playing my favorite video game, Lamar Jackson Run Through Everybody. It's a great game. And the game's over. Lamar Jackson got hurt again. Oh well. I guess we can talk about the Baltimore Ravens now. I got nothing else better to do. Hey everybody, I'm Cortes, and I'm a critic. We're talking about the Baltimore Ravens today. Baltimore. The Baltimore Ravens. Even to this day, with Lamar Jackson the face of the franchise, I still think defense. I still think the dominant defensive forces. Heck, I think about the running backs of Ravens past. Even those that got traded and those that became and those that came in a small leash but still made impacts galore. And then I think of Joe Flacco and thinking, wow, he's still playing. As a matter of fact, he made the playoffs too. What a weird world. So, Baltimore, congratulations, Lamar Jackson. You were MVP again. I think it kind of proves everybody that says that Lamar Jackson is not considered a quarterback. Now, some of those people might have a weird interpretation of what a quarterback is. Sometimes I can't help wonder why they don't consider Lamar Jackson a quarterback. I mean, he does play the position. Now, Grant hasn't played the position the stereotypical way, which I feel like is now becoming a racial slur in athlete. He's not a stereotypical point guard. He's not a stereotypical shooting guard. He's not a stereotypical running back. He's not a stereotypical. It's becoming a little bit offensive now to look at players and their positions and they do something incredible, something unique, something different, and go, they're not the stereotypical. And I'm like, I feel like that's more of an insult than you intended to make it. You want to make an argument, yes, but it still comes off as he's not what I call a quarterback. Remember, Tim Tebow was a quarterback and he won a playoff game. And he definitely wasn't a stereotypical quarterback. So, Lamar won MVP. He was the quarterback. He's a two-time MVP. So, can we just admire that Lamar Jackson athleticism has translated to the NFL. He won a Heisman at Louisville. No disrespect to Louisville. Elvis Dumerville is one of my favorite players. He's a player I idolized in high school when I play defense. You know, small stature, make sacks, make an impact. So, trust me when I say I respect Louisville, and Elvis Dumerville is one of my favorite players because of that. And not just in the team or the league, just in general. Elvis Dumerville is one of my favorite players. So, by the way, Elvis, if you like this video, thank you. A signed autographed jersey would be nice. just saying. Anyway, enough bragging, enough humble brag, enough begging. So, Baltimore. I think you're going to be good. You all thought you were going to be good. The question was still about the receiving position. You got Flowers, who I thought was phenomenal, but he did have some rookiness, and especially in the play against the Chiefs, where everyone saw it. It was like, he's a rookie. He'll learn not to do that again. Now, them going forward, I had the Ravens a 10-win team because a lot of this AFC North, I thought everyone else would be better. But when things didn't happen and then they went on to a 13-win season, I was like, okay. And then Lamar Jackson MVP was being batted around about yes, no. I was like, he's MVP because he's the reason why the Ravens are as good as they are now. It's because of him. But he's not a stereotypical. Forget about that. He's the reason. So you guys made it. You guys won. You guys lost the Chiefs, which I saw that game. I feel like you guys went so far away from your identity. It's like trying to do a new dance routine the day before auditions. Why did you do that in the worst time to do that? When it was everything. I mean, that defense went everything they could to keep you in the game. When the Chiefs went on to a 2-score lead, you got what? I just feel like your MVP, Lamar. Maybe you should have carried the team more on your shoulders. Maybe, I don't know. Now, granted, there were times where you guys probably could have, but Flowers and interception in the end zone, so that didn't help. But you guys were beyond expectations. The Ravens were a team that I always felt like Lamar and Mahomes will be the new Peyton and Brady for years to come. But I feel like now it's becoming more of a Mahomes versus anybody. because any good quarterback in the AFC is a rival to Mahomes. I mean, come on, can you blame him? So, Baltimore, your best game, in my humble opinion, I think your best game is Week 14 versus the Los Angeles Rams. That game was good. That's what I call a good. I looked at the schedule and I just realized that, you guys played the Los Angeles Chargers, had a bye week, and then you played the Los Angeles Rams. You literally played Los Angeles, uh, almost back to back. I think that was just kind of funny. I know that's weird. I know it's weird, but it's like playing the Jets and the Giants, back to back. It wouldn't fun if you played them on the road back to back. I mean, you just stay in SoFi Stadium twice. That would be kind of funny. But I digress. This was a good game for anyone who likes football. This was a good game. But to me, it showcased two good quarterbacks. Stafford had nearly 300 yards passing, 3 touchdowns. Lamar Jackson had over 300 yards and 3 touchdowns. But Lamar had 11 carries for 70 yards, which I feel like he was the reason. Funny enough, Odell Beckham had 4 receptions for 97 yards and a touchdown. Probably, one of his last, full strength, look what he can do. Remember what he was great before devastating injuries and, really hampered his career. So this was a good game. I love the punt return touchdown at the very end. I think that was one of the, what's the word? I can't think of the word, but it was all him. Wallace's was like all him. That was effort. That's the word. It was effort. It was determined. It was all him. Yes, the blocks were there. Everything was good. And yeah, there was probably a controversial call. Wasn't called. I get it. Complain all you want, but it was still a great game. This to me, because the Rams were maybe not record-wide, but they were showcasing, okay, the Rams maybe making a comeback themselves to get into the playoffs. So it wasn't so much of the Rams are mediocre. No, the Rams were getting hot at the right time for the end of the season, and the Ravens had to kind of like showcase that we cannot look weak against a potential playoff team. Now, was this a potential Super Bowl matchup? I didn't think so. I think I was thinking that. But both teams made the playoffs, and both teams were formidable with quarterbacks, so it was a good game in that regard. I mean, both had over 400 yards of offense, so if you like defense, this wasn't the game for you. Trust me, if I was a defensive player, I'd been like, this sucks. I always feel like if a defense gives up 30 points a game, that's not a good win. That's just me. If a defense keeps a team under 20 points, I think that's a good game. But if you give up 30 points, I'm thinking, no, that was bad. That was really bad. That was really bad, really bad. This, to me, just made, I think it, for me, made me feel like Ravens, I feel like this was a good idea of the Ravens' potential matchup with the Chiefs, maybe even the Bengals in the playoffs. Or at the time, I thought the Bengals were going to be in the playoff with Burrow in the beginning of the season. But I feel like if the Ravens can, go back and forth, and not just either make a comeback or blow them out and then just play, hold or catch the whole game. This to me showcased the Ravens can stay in the game and go back and forth without losing focus, without feeling defeated or without feeling demoralized. So this to me was the Ravens saying they can compete with good teams in a back and forth matchup and not get discouraged and not get frustrated and not lose. So to me, that's why I give this the Ravens' best game. It showed tenacity. Your worst game, though, was Week 10 versus Cleveland. Now, the reason why this was the worst game, in Holmes' opinion, it was another good game. I mean, 33-31, that just screams good game. I mean, you guys crushed Cleveland 28-3 early in the season, so division foe, payback's a bitch. All the narrative speaks there. But I think what made it kind of surprising was that, one, Deshaun Watson was playing, so there was always that feeling of, finally, we get to see Lamar Jackson and Deshaun Watson go at each other in a public game in what we thought was going to be, division foe back-to-back. This game had all the fixing of division. Even the game did become high-scoring. And yes, the Ravens kind of took their foot off the gas towards the end. It was 31-17 in the fourth quarter, and the Browns went on three scoring drives in the fourth. They had the touchdown and be down by 7. Then they had the interception. Yes, a crucial interception at the worst part, leading over. Now, granted, the PAT failed. So they were still like, you made a mistake, but there's hope. And you're thinking, okay, we made a mistake, we fixed this. And then when they got the ball back and they kicked the 40-yard field goal to win the game, it just felt like even you guys had a 2-touchdown lead. They made within 1 score. That's fine. You threw a pick 6. Crap. They missed the extra point. Okay. And they still won. It just felt like, even with all the, not mistake, but all like, okay, they're pushing back. Don't worry, we got this. We're up by 2 scores. Only up by 7. That's fine. We still got this. You threw a pick 6. Crap. Okay, they missed extra point. We have the ball, and they got the ball, and they kicked the game winner. Everything just felt like you had a chance to stop them, and you didn't. And it just felt like, yeah, that's the worst game, because it felt like this one of those games where it just slipped away. That it looks better for Cleveland, coming in and we beat the Ravens. Then the Ravens, we blew it. It fell through our fingers and we lost. So that to me is the worst game. I mean, come on, 3 straight scoring drives, offense, defense, special team. They literally beat the Ravens in all 3 categories in the last 3 times for the Cleveland Browns. That's just great Hollywood storytelling. So that's the worst game because it slipped through your finger, and I feel like those games are a little more hurtful than we just played bad. We just played bad. We almost had them and we didn't, and it's good. The team MVP is no surprise. It's the league's MVP. Lamar Jackson is the MVP. If you don't believe that he's MVP, then there's nothing I'm going to say to you that's going to make you believe otherwise. Lamar Jackson was the leading rusher. Lamar Jackson was, of course, the leading passer. He had less than 10 interceptions. If a quarterback has 25 touchdowns to less than 10 interceptions, I feel that's a good year for a quarterback. 24 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. Okay, that's kind of flirty. But Lamar Jackson had, 800 yards rushing with 5 touchdowns. So let's just give him part of that. So he gave probably almost 30 touchdowns for his team. Not to mention all those short yardage situations for the running backs to score touchdowns too. Gus Edwards, who only had about 11 yards less than Lamar Jackson, had 13 rushing touchdowns. He had the same number of touchdowns as Tyreek Hill and Mike Evans did as receivers, in a league where receivers get more chances than running backs to score touchdowns. Gus Edwards had 13. But Lamar Jackson was the reason. Like I said, all those Gus Edwards touchdowns could have been short yardage situations that Lamar Jackson led down with receiving, with catches, and running the ball, and Gus Edwards just powered his way in. And very rarely do I see Lamar Jackson become like that ground and pound behind the center touchdown runner. I feel like he's more like go around the corner and outrun to the end zone touchdown. So that's your MVP, Gus Edwards. I'll probably say MVP. 13 touchdowns, rushing touchdown this season. That's just impressive. A. The grade against the Baltimore Ravens is an A. Lamar Jackson, who I was thinking, could he get a second MVP? Because they always view that first one as, fluke, the season. Things happen, narrative spoilers, whatever. He did. The Ravens got the number 1 seed. They did. They had the home playoff. Yes, they had the Chiefs at their home stadium. But like Buffalo, they couldn't just say, thanks for coming, now go home. But they forgot that the Chiefs always have a home and the Super Bowl, no matter wherever it is. So that's when they say go home means go home after you go to the Super Bowl and then go home. So to me, I can give it less because I don't use playoffs to dictate their season. And what the Ravens did this season just made me feel like Lamar Jackson was worth the price of admission. The Ravens were formidable, and I hope that when the draft comes, I think they still need to address receiver. That is my humble opinion. I feel like Ravens are a team that can get any running back. The Ravens can run with fullbacks all day, and they'll still be successful. That's how great. And they got Derrick Henry. The King is in Baltimore. They went 13-4. If they don't win more than 13 games next year, then something happened. I'm just calling it. Jinxing it, maybe, but I'm calling it. So, and that's the Baltimore Ravens. Thank you. So we're done with the AFC North. That means we must go to our neighbors across the north. since they're the next division to lose everything because Detroit lost and choked to San Francisco in the NFC Championship game. So let's go to the NFC North and let's talk about the team that has the #1 pick stolen from the Panthers. That's right. When we talk about the NFC North, we're talking about the Chicago Bears and their season of not bad, not great, but not bad, and how Fields literally left the field. So until then, I'm Cortez, and I'm a critic. Thank you so very much for watching.